All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the HotS Invitational run by InStarcraft.de and sponsored by idalo.de. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. And ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the right-hand side as the yellow Protoss, we have Sage. And spawning on the left-hand side as the pink Zerg. The winner of the last series we just watched, we have Bly.
Yeah, once again, two excellent players here, and it's going to be interesting to see that once again we have PVZ. I'm interested to see how they're going to switch things up here. We've already seen Core Hall once. Of course, we can tell you exactly what Bly did last game. We're going to see if Sage has a bit of a different style than Adele does.
Absolutely, and Sage is the current champion of the InStarcraft.de tournaments. He won the last one, went away victorious. So he is basically, he doesn't just have the money to win, he has his title to withhold.
Yep, definitely. That's going to be a motivation for him. I mean, Sage is one of those players that works so hard now. And look at that, a Forge first opening. That's more what I'm used to. That's business as usual for me. The Wings of Liberty style.
Yeah, absolutely. Seems to be going a much more standard build, playing safe. Bly is known for his very early aggression. Bly is known for his very early aggression. He says a 6 Ling starts streaming across the map, heading straight for Sage's base, throwing down a gateway. I think that was a 7 pool.
Oh dear, I didn't think people actually did that anymore. I mean, 10 pool is almost always better. Whoa, while I'm still writing down the builds from last game, I'm kind of blown away from this, that Bly actually attempts this. Do you
Absolutely,
think that
and will Sage have enough minerals? There's the gateway. It is blocked off, so now these Lings are just going to try and kill off these buildings. There is a cannon on the way, so he's going to try and kill off this gateway before it finishes up. Cannon will complete in time, but there's no units right now. This is going to be quite tight. Cannon finishes up, and these Lings will slowly start to disappear. Sage basically needs to save up enough money so that he can reblock this. There we go. There is the second gateway to finish blocking. He uses the probe to block the cannon, and there we go. The Lings are in the base, but there's only one left, and it's on half health. Great defense here by Sage.
Whoa. I'm kind of blown away that Bly tries a 6 pool here. Sorry, 7 pool really. I believe it was a 7 pool. I don't know if it was a 6 pool. I thought I saw a drone building at the start. So.
Yeah, this is outstanding. Basically, this is unusual.
Like, why would you do this in this position? Because really, this almost never pays off. I guess he's playing the map, right? He's saying, hey, this is a big ramp. It's gonna be tough to block in time. I might be able to get in. Might be getting some damage done. On the other hand, this is such a huge gamble. If it doesn't pay off, like it hasn't, Bly's in some hot water.
I'm saying all Bly can now do is use this Ling to basically try and deny mining time, but the expansion goes down anyway, and this one probe is mining time's being denied, but Sage basically just going to play the well. There goes the Ling, and Sage can go back to normal mining, and Bly is now really far behind. He's thrown down his expansion to try and get himself back into a good position, but if we have a look at the probe to drone count, it is currently 19 probes to 13 drones.
That is not pretty.
That is not pretty at all, especially when you are Zerg. You want to be ahead in almost every kind of unit, especially workers. That's just not good for Bly at all right now.
Yeah, we got a Cyber Core here now going down. That's going to be a nice addition. Of course, this is the regular pattern to follow for Sage here. And Sage is in such a strong position. I'm thinking what Bly could possibly do in this position. There's not a whole lot. He's got to hope for Sage to make a huge mistake. And we always say, hey, if you want to make a comeback, you have to do little things to actually get into a position where you can make a comeback. A good example for that is Mana. If he's behind, he will just start picking away at your army. He starts taking off a few units here and there, just starts dwindling down the advantage a little bit, step by step. And if that goes on long enough, Mana manages to facilitate himself a comeback. He earns himself a comeback. In this position, no matter what Bly tries, it's going to be extremely hard to earn himself a comeback. He's going to have to hope that Sage makes a huge mistake, and we're going to see the Stargate play here by Sage. You got to wonder if Bly's going to be ready for that.
I don't think he will be. There is an Overlord just sort of floating its way into Sage's base, so he could have a bit of a scout around. If he sees that Stargate, he's going to be in a much better position, but he probably won't see that Stargate, so we will probably see a couple Phoenix coming out for Sage, and he will use them to harass. And even though Bly is further behind, if he loses his queens, it's probably game over.
Yeah, but besides his queens, this is only anti-air
Oh,
right
Chrono
now.
boosting a supply block there. Not great play there by Sage.
Yeah,
Building a
oops.
pylon to try and get out of that.
Embarrassing. Pretend that's not happening right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
God. Oh,
ignore
God.
that
This
Stargate
is
for the
painful
moment.
painful to watch that. Okay.
We'll ignore that Stargate for the moment, just to try and save Sage some embarrassment. We can see Bly is continuing to drone up right now, trying to get his economy back into a decent position. And we're seeing +1 ground weapons on their way for Sage, while he continues to probe up his natural expansion as well. And Sage is just so far ahead right now, but Bly has finally taken the supply lead, which is where he needs to be, just by massing as many drones as possible.
Yeah, let's face it, at this point he should be ahead. He's only equal in the workers at this point. It's not pretty, you know. As a Zerg, you want to start thinking about your third. Right now, there's no way you can. Now, we are going to see the scout here coming on.
It will see it.
It's going to spot, of course, the Phoenix is there in the build as well. You can just barely see the shape, of course. I'm sure most of you guys do know that.
Absolutely. So this Overlord will go down to this sentry eventually. First Phoenix is flying its way across the map. Second one rallied to it. Now that it knows it will be scouted, it doesn't have to take the really roundabout route. So we will see Sage go for some harassment right now, and it's going to be interesting to see how much damage he can do.
We've got the Evo Chamber coming down now. We've got Lair coming down. I don't think this is going to do massive damage for Sage, but Sage right now is dictating what Bly does. He's basically dictating Bly's build. He says, hey, I'm going to go Stargate, and you're going to have to go Lair and get the Evo Chamber, or you die. So basically, Sage is in complete control of the game right now. He's dictating where we go from here on out.
Absolutely, and Sage is continuing to throw out Phoenixes right now, and he's just going to use them to his advantage, kill off as many Overlords as possible, deny all kinds of vision for Bly, put him in a really tough position, and he's throwing down his Robo as well, so he's going to be able to move into his normal tech and the Twilight Council, basically going down every single tech path, which he can do right now. He's in the position, he is ahead in supply.
Yeah, you know, Sage is playing well, but Bly is making the right decisions at this point. Basically, you know, he's doing what he can. He's making sure he has those, of course, the Spore Crawlers up. He's making sure he gets the investment into those Queens, so he has the mobile anti-air, and he's investing into a lot of Lings. Because let's face it, Phoenixes are not cost-efficient against Lings whatsoever. So, you know, Bly's doing all the right things. It might still not be enough. And we have a double?
Double Twilight, okay, that's interesting. Was that intentional? Let's find out. Is he going Blink and Charge at the same time? What is this? And we're seeing a Tempest on the way. I think this is the first one of these I've seen in the tournament.
I see. I gotta say, this is starting to look like another sloppy little mistake by Sage. This is unfortunate. He's getting his second Forge right now. I think one of those was intended to be a Forge. So I wanted to get the +2.
You may be right there. That is unfortunate. Well, I suppose he might as well make the most of it and go for Blink and Charge. Right now, you know, he's going into the third of Bly, going to see if he can do some harassment, possibly pick it off. Here come the Lings, trying to pick off some of the reinforcements right now. They will get a couple Zealots. There are a lot of Lings right now. And in the meantime, though, Sage is in the third base of Bly and may actually get this right now. Drones coming down, just running straight past these. Lings will finally move down once they've finally killed off all these Zealots, and they're just going for the pylon right now. These Zealots abandoning the hatchery, going to try and kill off some drones while they can. And in the meantime, Sage can't expand either because his expansion does have creep in it. And the Lings come in, so Sage will not be able to get this expansion. The Lings will be able to kill this off, especially now that there are 3 Queens down to help defend.
Yeah, Transfuse really coming into play there. I think if he had focused down the hatchery, he might have been able to take it down. It would have been a gamble, though. And indeed, we see the Charge and the Blink now being upgraded for Sage. Sage says, no, you know, this is what I meant to do all along.
Trying to cover it up. 13 Mutalisks on the way right now. And to be honest, I think that's exactly what Bly needs to do right now. He's already behind, so he needs to go for the harassment to try and keep himself alive.
He doesn't have anything to do with the Mutas right now. I mean, the Phoenixes, they're of course pretty decent.
There's not enough of them. Oh, here comes the Tempest, picks off a Queen there, doing some damage. Doesn't have the splash damage as it had in the original Constant Debater. And here we go, here's the engagement. We're just trying to focus it down, but it could take so much damage. And the Phoenix is just killing off all the Mutas right now. And the Zealots get the third base. More Mutas coming in to reinforce, trying to get this Tempest. Phoenix doing so much damage, they get the Tempest, but the Phoenix will finally be able to kill out the Mutas. And Sage did get that third base, but that is a quite expensive loss of that Tempest. And we're seeing more Phoenix on the way. Charge will finish up fairly soon, as well as +2 attack and +1 armor for the ground units of Sage.
Yeah, we do not see that there's, of course, a little bit of a problem with the anti-air there. Bly's going to be able to keep reinforcing with Mutas. Meanwhile, Sage needs to think of something. because his Phoenixes won't really be able to mass up enough. On the other hand, Sage right now is doing considerable damage right now, even with the Mutas basically there. It's basically ignoring them at this point.
Absolutely. He's focusing a couple down with some of the Phoenix, but the Phoenix are getting picked off eventually. And right now, Bly is doing enough harassment. He almost has double the supply. Sorry, Sage has almost double the supply of Bly. It's looking so dangerous right now, but as you said, the Phoenix are on the way. We're seeing +1 air weapons on the way for Bly to try and make these Phoenix do enough damage. A Roach Warren on the way. 14 Lynx are trying to defend. These Zealots are just running amok right now in this space. The Phoenix are mostly dead. There's just 3 left. Not enough to deal with these Mutas. But we're seeing a Fleet Beacon on the way for Sage right now. He's definitely going for that Stargate tech. And he really can right now. He can really go whatever tech he wants.
He can do pretty much anything. I mean, this is basically it, because Sage hasn't been playing that cleanly. I mean, he got Blink, but obviously just because he had the second Twilight. I don't think he's invested in a single Stalker yet, so...
No, I think he skipped them completely, and these Phoenix dancing around, picking off some Mutas there. One of the Phoenix does go down. Zealots finally cleared up in the main base, but we're seeing more coming in into the main base right now, doing so much damage. Lings go to try and deal with them. Phoenix return home. I think this attack has mostly been quelled by Bly right now.
But
if we have a look at... He's going to keep going, but there are Roaches, there's more Lings coming out onto the field, and GG by Bly.
Yeah, we did see that Sage managed to not, I want to say win that game, but on the other end was more that he didn't lose that game after the early aggression. Bly taking a huge risk, but the scouting probe, as ever, is pretty good to have.
Absolutely. I just looked at the unit count before I left that game. It was 55 probes to 16 drones.
Yeah, it was not pretty.
And good use of the Stargate tech there. He didn't even have to use that Fleet Beacon. The Phoenix were enough, really, to hold off the Mutas to let the Zealots do the damage they needed to.
Exactly. So meanwhile, we're going to have game number 2 coming up in not too long. Of course, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys stay tuned for game number 2, which is coming up next. I think with how Sage played, he made a little bit of little mistakes here and there. I definitely think this could go the other way in game number 2, so this could be an exciting series.
Absolutely. I think if Bly plays a bit more standard, he would have a way better chance. He's definitely close to Sage's level. And if he gets a... Plus, it's now his map choice, so this could go very much in Bly's favor.
Yep, so we're going to see what game number 2 is going to come up. Stay tuned. More action is